Shalom, call hello, Yahabashim Yahushai, Bahashim Makakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elder that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect Abraham David. I'm the brother slash elder Yashawan. Shalom and salutation from the west. Shalom and salutations to you all. This is the World War III Daily Update. And yesterday, I made a video because the update was about drones because we talk about missiles a lot. We talk very little about drones. And yesterday's news was about Russia being attacked by drones. Ukraine sent drones on Russia, and Russia was attacked by drones. So I made a video on that. But this guy here is telling the whole story, which is not only was Russia attacked by drones, but they were attacked by missiles too. What kind of missiles? Storm Shadow, which is a game changer. Okay. Storm Shadow, and what's the other one? There's another one, I forgot what it is. Not Neptune. Okay. NATO attacked Russia. NATO. See that? Because Ukraine doesn't know how to fire a Storm Shadow. Only the crew, right? From where the missile came from, in this case, they're going to say Great Britain. So who's in trouble? Big Ben? Or the eye needle, what do they call it? The eye of the London Eye is in trouble. Okay, the Toms right there. Right, Benny Hill and all of them niggas. And Neptune missiles, who sent those missiles over there? Okay, because whoever sent the missiles sent a battery, a crew to operate the missiles and to shoot them, because the Ukraine either can't shoot them or there are, rules against them shooting specific munitions, but they're being attacked. So Western media left this out, and Big Shy here, I just kind of stumbled upon this, right? He's saying something additional happened. Anyway, this is Joel 2, the army of locusts, which we know as missiles. But yesterday I was saying, well, this kind of sounds like drones too, and it does. But now that old Shy here, right, is saying that missiles were involved in this particular. And see, what Shy is saying is Russia was forced to retaliate against the strike that was launched. Why were they forced to retaliate? Because of the weaponry that was used. They were forced to retaliate because they weren't fighting against Ukraine. They were fighting against NATO, who fired the Storm Shadow, which they drew a red line and said, if you use that Storm Shadow, we got to come in. It's an escalation. All right. So let's read this here. This could be a drone, or it could be this is definitely a missile. Joel 2 and 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burn. That's a missile. The land is as a Garden of Eden, before them and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. So anyway, I'm going to let this guy explain the attack 3 days ago. Apparently he's in London. Okay, but see, we're the only ones being lied to here in America about the news that's being. I didn't know anything about, certainly, storm shadows. Well, they're using storm shadows? NATO is? That's an escalation of the war. And they're not reporting that in Western news.
Thank you for joining me once again. I'm Big Shy, and this is my update for the 22nd of October 2025.
It's a little hard to understand him, but hang in there. We're going to listen to a few things, all right? Because he's got some information. He's breaking it down, and it makes sense, right? And again, Western media is not reporting that storm shadows are being used and fired by NATO. But you know what I did hear? What I am hearing? And let's look at that real quick. Let me type this in. Because NATO is over there declaring war. Not NATO. Shalom, call hello, Yahweh days. Now, it could be clickbait, but let's find out. Russia declares war again.
Diablo's Wood Demon Ultimate General Purpose Saw Blade is designed to enhance productivity up to 10 times more than standard saw blades in ripping and cross-cutting applications. Create high-quality cuts and achieve a superior quality finish in less time with no touch-ups, no rework, and no sanding required.
What in the hell?
I put curing hepatitis C on my to-do list.
Epclusa treats all types of chronic hepatitis C with a 98% cure rate.
Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Shemi Hoshai, Bahashem Makakwood, Ash, double honors to the other apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone, even on. Okay, Russia declares active war from the United States. What is that? Russia says NATO has declared war. U.S. military. Okay, so I don't see any declaration of war. I don't see that. It's getting close, though. Trump openly declares war. No, he doesn't. Russia declares war on U.S. 4 years ago. One day. Okay, so I don't see it. I see a whole bunch of chatter about it. But that's not what I'd be able to delve in and see. Trump just declared war. Okay, so this is some back and forth bullshit. Okay, I don't put too much stock in that. But these sanctions are going on. This is changing things. That's why Japan went to war with or bombed Pearl Harbor for that matter. Let's hear what this Benjamite looking brother has.
Thank you for joining me once again. I'm Big Shy, and this is my update for the 22nd of October 2025. I have two important topics to discuss with you today, and I want you to take this seriously. Listen attentively because something big is about to happen. Something nasty is going to happen, believe it or not. Now, the first topic, NATO forces in Ukraine attacked Russian Federation today using a combination of missiles and drones. The Bryansk region, to be particular, was heavily attacked by NATO forces in Ukraine. The second topic, Russia retaliated with their own drones and missile strike all over the eastern side of Ukraine, including the capital city, Kyiv, and a lot of severe damages were done. So let's talk about the first topic. Before I talk about the Ukrainian attack, which was the first attack, I'm going to discuss the Russian attack first because it's going to make more sense once I tell you about the Russian attack and the reason why Russia launched those attacks. So Russia carried out a massive drones and missile attack on Ukraine late last night and the early hours of this morning, the 22nd of October 2025. That attack focused on the eastern part of Ukraine. And from the flight of drones and missile map that was published today, it showed every single attack. About 80% of the attack focused on the eastern part of Ukraine. A lot of explosions were recorded. A lot of fire anomalies were captured in the process of the attack. a lot of drones and missiles were used in that attack by Russia. That wasn't a major attack, by the way. It was a very handful. They used only just drones and ballistic missiles. They did not use their aviation, which means Russia was not ready for that attack. They just launched the attack simultaneously without even thinking. Now, the reason why Russia launched that retaliatory attack will shock you when I tell you. And we're going to discuss it. You know how it is. Russia was forced to retaliate to what NATO forces in Ukraine did. And I'm going to discuss that with you step by step. So please listen. So why did Russia launch that sudden attack on Ukraine? All of a sudden, they didn't plan it. They just picked up and started attacking Ukraine. Why? Russia launched that attack after NATO forces helping Ukraine carried out a wave of missiles and drone attack deep in Bryansk region of Russia and a few other territories inside Russian Federation. Bryansk region of Russia came under heavy attack of drones and missiles from inside Ukraine. Moscow region was also said to be attacked, and a few other regions within Russian Federation were also attacked. The area that border with Ukrainian, territory. All of those attacks were carried out by NATO forces. Please listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Don't get my word wrong. Listen carefully. All of those attacks were carried out by NATO forces in Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I said those attacks were carried out by NATO forces in Ukraine. All the weapons that was used in that attack are operated or were operated by NATO forces in Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. If you understand how the weaponry system works, if you understand how the Western weapon system works, there are some weapons that Ukraine is not allowed to operate. There are some weapons Ukraine cannot operate because they are not trained to use them. So the first weapon that was used to attack Russia today was the Storm Shadow missiles that is provided by the United Kingdom.
Let me stop right there. Now let me type this in and see where this goes. Russia says Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow crosses red line. Let's see where this goes. 2 days. Ooh, shit. Putin's troops surrender near Provsk as British storm shadows hit Russia. That's it. What are Russia's NATO red lines? This is 2 days ago. And what crossing them might trigger. Not might. Putin afraid of Western weapons as Storm Shadow missiles hit Russian chemical plants. So they're using them. So this is why there's an escalation. The British made weapons used to attack Russia. Woo, it's going down. Ukraine strike Russia with British Storm Shadow missiles. So what's going to happen? If Russia did that big counterstrike then, and now they're just using them, look, they're just over there firing Storm Shadows. NATO's in now. And America don't know that. I don't know that. I'm finding that out right now. Putin suffers significant hit. What is it? 17 as Storm Shadows continue striking critical infrastructure. So they're using them right now. Putin runs away from Kremlin as Storm Shadow missiles kill Russian military. Woo! So this thing just escalated. Okay, and they're not reporting on it like that. Storm Shadow and Neptune cruise missiles found and struck Russia's weak points. Wow. So this is going down, man. Let me see. Yeah, they're not reporting on this. All right. So, yeah, the next phase. Now NATO's in. All right, so we should be seeing England at any time getting hit. No, this is serious. Somebody's about to get hit. Somebody in NATO, right? They're going to start in Poland. Who's that? Finland that just came in? Who's over there acting a damn fool? Anyway, yeah, crazy. If I wet my glittering sword. Here come the ICBMs. Deuteronomy 32 and 41. If I wet my glittering sword and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward him, Salakia, and will reward them that hate me. What does that mean? ICBMs. With that, we hope that the elect were edified, you brothers and sisters. Shalom.